Jealousy is one of the most deeply hidden emotions in human relationships. It rarely walks through the front door. Instead, it creeps in quietly, masked as politeness, hidden behind smiles, or wrapped in supportive words that don't quite match the energy in someone's eyes. Most people won't tell you they're jealous of you. They won't admit that your growth, happiness, or success makes them uncomfortable. But their body might, because while the mouth can lie, the body often tells the truth. We live in a world where appearances matter, and many people have mastered the art of pretending. Friends will clap for you in public, but criticize you in private. Colleagues will smile when you get promoted, but secretly hope you fail. Even family members may support you with words while struggling with silent resentment. The most honest clues about how someone truly feels about you often come from the way they behave, without even realizing it. That's where body language becomes powerful. It's the subconscious voice of the mind, revealing emotions we try to suppress. The way someone looks at you, the way they react when you speak, the way their posture changes when you walk into a room. These little gestures can carry big messages, especially when someone is jealous. While they may never say, "I envy you," their stiff smile, darting eyes, tense jaw, or crossed arms might say it louder than words ever could. Recognizing these signs isn't about becoming paranoid or judging everyone around you. It's about awareness, protecting your peace, and learning who truly celebrates you and who only tolerates you. It helps you understand why someone's energy shifts when you shine, or why conversations feel off when you succeed. Often, it has nothing to do with you, and everything to do with what they're battling inside. In this guide, we'll explore 8 specific body language signs that often reveal hidden jealousy. Each one may seem small on its own, but when these behaviors begin to stack up, a pattern forms. A pattern that speaks, even when words don't. If you've ever felt like someone's support was forced, their smile lacked warmth, or their reactions didn't match your moments, this will help you see clearly, because the truth is, jealousy doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just shifts its weight, avoids your gaze, and smiles a little too tightly. And learning to read those silent signals can save you from trusting the wrong people with your light. 1. Fake smile with tight lips. When someone is secretly jealous of you, they rarely express it directly. Instead, their body language betrays emotions they try to hide. One of the most common and easily missed signs is the fake smile with tight lips. At first glance, it might look like a polite expression or casual friendliness, but a closer look reveals something deeper, something off. A genuine smile naturally engages the eyes. The cheeks lift, the eyes crinkle slightly, and the corners of the mouth rise effortlessly. But a jealous person struggles to create that natural response. Their smile often stops at the mouth, and more specifically, the lips. When someone gives you a tight-lipped smile, their lips press together or stretch thinly across the face without any real warmth. The eyes remain cold, distant, or emotionless. There's no sparkle, no shared joy, just an awkward or forced gesture trying to cover what they really feel. This type of smile usually comes during your moments of happiness or success. Maybe you're telling a group about your new job, an achievement, or a compliment you received. While others might smile openly, someone who feels threatened by your progress might force this tight-lipped smile. It's a silent performance, pretending to be happy for you while internally feeling uncomfortable, competitive, or even bitter. Sometimes, they don't even realize they're doing it. It becomes an instinctive reaction. They feel the pressure to act polite, but can't fully suppress the discomfort inside. Their lips tighten, almost as if holding back their real thoughts. Instead of celebrating your win, they see it as a reminder of what they lack, and that resentment leaks through their body language. This smile can last only a few seconds, but it tells a story. It's not always easy to confront or call out, and often It's better to observe patterns over time. If you consistently notice this reaction whenever you succeed, it's not a coincidence. It's a sign that the person isn't genuinely happy for you. Deep down, they're fighting with their own insecurities, and their tight-lipped smile is the mask they wear to keep it hidden. 2. Avoiding eye contact when you share good news. When someone is truly happy for you, their body language reflects openness, engagement, and emotional connection. They lean in, maintain eye contact, and show genuine excitement. But a jealous person often struggles to show that same energy, especially through their eyes. One of the most telling signs of hidden jealousy is when someone avoids eye contact the moment you start sharing something positive about your life. It might seem subtle at first. You begin to talk about a promotion, a new opportunity, or even a compliment you received. Instead of maintaining normal eye contact like they usually do, they suddenly glance away, look at their phone, fidget with something nearby, or pretend to be distracted. It's not shyness, it's discomfort. Your good news triggers something in them, and they unconsciously break the connection by avoiding your gaze. The eyes are powerful communicators. When someone can't look you in the eye during your moment of joy, it's often because they're battling envy, resentment, or inadequacy. They might not want you to see their real feelings, so they look away to protect themselves and their mask. Some might even overcompensate by nodding or smiling while looking elsewhere, hoping you won't notice. But the lack of eye contact exposes the truth. They're not celebrating with you. They're comparing. This behavior is more obvious in close relationships, where normal eye contact is the default. Friends, siblings, colleagues, people who usually connect with you emotionally, suddenly seem distant when you're winning. It doesn't mean they hate you, but it does mean your success unsettles them. They may feel left behind, overlooked, or insecure in comparison. Sometimes they'll shift their gaze quickly, hoping you don't catch it. Other times, they'll avoid your eyes for the entire conversation, giving short replies or forcing a laugh without truly engaging. Their discomfort isn't always about what you achieved. It's about how it makes them feel about themselves. Over time, if you notice this pattern repeating whenever you're doing well, take note. True support comes with eye contact, presence, and shared energy. If someone can't even look you in the eyes when you shine, they're not clapping for you. They're competing silently behind a wall of silence. 3. Sudden change in posture when you enter body language often speaks before words do, especially when it comes to hidden emotions like jealousy. One of the most subtle yet revealing signs is a sudden shift in someone's posture the moment you enter a room. It's not always dramatic, but it's noticeable if you pay attention. Their body reacts to your presence, automatically, sometimes unconsciously, revealing emotions they're trying to suppress. When someone is comfortable and relaxed, their body shows it. They sit casually, move naturally, and remain open in their posture. But when you walk in, especially if you're someone they feel competitive or envious toward, you might notice a quick change. They straighten up too fast, stiffen their shoulders, cross their arms, adjust their position, or suddenly stop whatever they were doing. It's not a reaction of joy. It's one of discomfort or defensiveness. This shift often happens without a word. You walk into the room, and in a split second, their energy changes. Maybe they were laughing before, but now their expression becomes neutral. Or they were leaning back comfortably, and now they're sitting upright with tension in their body. It's the body's natural response to feeling threatened or unsettled. Sometimes they turn slightly away from you without realizing it. Other times, they fidget, shift their legs, or suddenly act busy. Anything to create a subtle barrier between your presence and their emotional reaction. It's not always rooted in hatred, but in comparison. Your presence reminds them of something they wish they had, or someone they wish they were. People who are secure in themselves don't flinch when you enter. They welcome you with the same posture and energy. But those harboring jealousy often feel exposed or inferior, and their body betrays what they don't want you to see. The change in posture is a defense mechanism, a way to shield themselves emotionally without having to say a word. Over time, if you walk into a space and consistently notice someone tensing up, looking down, or suddenly becoming quiet and reserved, it's more than coincidence. Their body is speaking the truth their mouth won't say. Jealousy doesn't always show up as drama. It often shows up in silence, stillness, and the stiffness they can't hide when you step into the room. 4. Excessive blinkings or darting eyes. Eyes are windows to the truth, and when someone feels something they're trying to hide, like jealousy, it often shows up in their eye movements before anything else. One particularly revealing behavior is excessive blinking or darting eyes. It may seem like a small, even innocent action, but in the right context, it becomes a powerful indicator of emotional discomfort and internal conflict. When a person hears something that triggers insecurity or envy, their nervous system often reacts faster than their thoughts can process. The result? Their eyes start moving in unnatural, restless ways. You may notice they blink more than usual, especially when you're talking about something positive in your life. The blinking becomes rapid, inconsistent, or overly frequent. It's not due to dry eyes or lighting, it's because they're emotionally unsettled. In addition to blinking, their eyes might dart from side to side or move around the room, avoiding a steady gaze. This isn't curiosity or distraction, it's evasion. They're trying not to hold eye contact, not because they're shy, but because looking directly at you in that moment feels uncomfortable. Your presence, your story, or your success brings up feelings they're not ready to face. So instead of staying focused, their eyes start searching for an emotional exit. This eye movement is a subconscious effort to hide what they really feel. They don't want you to notice their discomfort. But ironically, it's exactly what makes their jealousy noticeable. When you tell them good news or share a moment of joy, and their eyes suddenly become restless or unfocused, it's a telltale sign that something's wrong beneath the surface. In normal conversations, eye movement is natural and fluid, but in situations charged with envy or emotional tension, it becomes erratic. You might catch them blinking quickly, then looking away, then back at you, and then to the floor or wall, anything to avoid direct connection. It's as if your success makes them too uneasy to stay still. These subtle cues are easy to overlook, but once you become aware of them, they start to stand out. When someone who usually holds steady eye contact suddenly can't keep their eyes still around your accomplishments, it's not just nerves, it's jealousy trying to stay hidden. And the eyes, despite all efforts, often refuse to lie. 5. Clenched jaw or tense facial muscles. The human face is incredibly expressive, and even when someone tries to mask their emotions, the tension in their muscles often gives them away. One of the most subtle yet telling signs of jealousy is a clenched jaw or visibly tight facial muscles. These signs don't shout, they whisper, but if you're observant, they reveal far more than words ever could. When someone feels envious, especially during a conversation where you're sharing something good, an achievement, praise, recognition, or happiness, they may not openly express discomfort. Instead, their face responds with restrained tension. The jaw tightens slightly, the cheeks stiffen, and the muscles around the mouth harden. It happens quickly, often in a split second, and sometimes without the person even realizing it. This physical tension is an involuntary reaction to internal conflict. They want to appear supportive, or at least neutral, but inside, there's friction. Their subconscious tries to suppress what they're really feeling: envy, insecurity, comparison, and the body absorbs that emotional stress. The result is a tight, uncomfortable facial expression that stands in contrast to the words they speak or the fake smile they offer. Unlike sadness or anger, jealousy isn't always loud. It's silent and concealed. That's what makes clenched jaws and stiff faces such key giveaways. They're natural signs of discomfort, hidden under the surface of polite behavior. You may notice this especially in group settings, where your good news is being shared. Everyone might laugh or celebrate, but one person's face stays tense, their jaw slightly locked, their smile barely stretching. Sometimes, the person might grit their teeth ever so slightly, or shift their mouth in a way that feels forced or unnatural. It's not a coincidence. It's their way of holding something back, whether it's a sarcastic comment, a negative emotion, or a feeling of being left behind. The longer the conversation goes on, the more uncomfortable their face becomes. They may even excuse themselves early or disengage to avoid revealing too much. This type of reaction isn't always rooted in hatred. It's often insecurity. Your success or happiness reflects something in themselves they feel they're missing. And while they try to hide it, their face speaks louder than they think. A clenched jaw is not just a physical response. It's a silent expression of emotional struggle, a quiet admission that your light is making their shadows harder to ignore. 6. Crossed arms during your success stories. When someone crosses their arms while listening to your success story, it may seem like a casual gesture, but in many cases, it's a subtle sign of emotional discomfort, and often hidden jealousy. Body language speaks volumes, especially when it doesn't match the words being said. And crossed arms, in the right context, reveal far more than silence ever could. A confident, secure person usually remains open in posture when others share good news. They lean in, stay relaxed, and engage with genuine warmth. But someone who feels threatened, insecure, or envious may instinctively cross their arms. It's a self-protective stance, a way of subconsciously creating a barrier between themselves and the source of their discomfort, your success. This behavior isn't always aggressive. It's often quiet and subtle. You might be sharing a recent achievement, an exciting opportunity, or simply talking about how your life is improving. While you speak, the person slowly folds their arms across their chest, their body closing off even as they nod or smile. That smile might seem polite, but their posture tells a different story. It's defensive, guarded, and inwardly conflicted. Crossed arms aren't always about jealousy, of course. People cross their arms for many reasons: comfort, habit, or even feeling cold. But when it happens specifically during conversations where you're shining, succeeding, or elevating in life, and especially when paired with other signs like tight smiles or lack of eye contact, it becomes more than just a habit. It becomes a clue. This posture can signal emotional resistance. They might feel like they're falling behind, being compared, or left out. Instead of expressing that verbally, their body retreats. Their arms become a wall, a silent attempt to protect their ego from the impact of your growth. They may not even be aware they're doing it, but the message is clear. They're not entirely comfortable with your wins. In some cases, this gesture is paired with other shifts: leaning slightly back, avoiding questions, or changing the subject quickly. These small actions, combined with crossed arms, create an energy of emotional distance. It's not just that they're listening, it's that they're bracing themselves while pretending to listen. Over time, patterns reveal more than moments. If you notice someone consistently crossing their arms every time you're doing well, it's worth paying attention. The body often confesses what the heart is too proud to admit. And crossed arms, during a celebration, are sometimes the body's quiet way of saying, "I'm not okay with your success," even if I won't say it out loud. 7. Imitating your gestures or style subtly. Imitation is often seen as a form of flattery, but when it's tied to jealousy, it takes on a very different meaning. One of the more quietly manipulative signs of hidden envy is when someone begins to subtly mimic your gestures, fashion, tone, or personal habits. Not to admire, but to compete. On the surface, it may appear as innocent admiration, but underneath, it's often rooted in comparison, insecurity, and an unspoken need to keep up. This behavior doesn't usually happen all at once. It begins slowly. Maybe they start using the same phrases you use in conversation, styling their hair like yours, or posting similar content on social media. Over time, their choices begin to mirror yours. Your clothing style, your way of expressing yourself, your routines, or even your ambitions. It's not about shared taste. It's about silent rivalry. Unlike genuine inspiration, this type of imitation feels oddly calculated. The person may rarely give you credit or admit you're the influence. Instead, they might try to do what you do, but slightly differently, to appear original. Or worse, they may imitate you and then try to outshine you at your own game. It's not admiration they're showing, it's disguised competition. This subtle copying is often done with the hope of receiving the same attention, compliments, or recognition you get. If you're known for dressing a certain way or having a specific energy, they might try to embody it, not to be closer to you, but to measure themselves against you. It's a way for them to silently say, "I can be like you," or better. Jealousy-driven imitation can also extend to social behavior. If you take up a new habit, trend, or interest, and suddenly they do the same, especially after previously showing no interest, it could be more than coincidence. It's a quiet attempt to close the perceived gap between your growth and their self-worth. Over time, this behavior becomes noticeable, especially when they're consistently one step behind, yet trying to stay on your level. It's not always malicious, but it's rarely healthy. When someone starts copying your identity rather than being inspired by it, it's not flattery, it's a reflection of an inner emptiness they're trying to fill through your light. And that subtle imitation becomes a silent echo of jealousy dressed as admiration. 8. Forced laughter or delayed reactions when you speak. Genuine connection is felt in the little moments, especially in how people respond to your words. When someone laughs with you, reacts naturally to your stories, or shows real engagement, it creates warmth and trust. But when reactions feel delayed, empty, or forced, they can reveal something else beneath the surface. One of the most quietly revealing signs of jealousy is when someone laughs without meaning it, or takes just a little too long to respond, as if their heart isn't truly in the moment. Forced laughter often sounds hollow. There's no joy behind it, just an awkward attempt to appear polite. You might notice it when you share something funny, exciting, or uplifting. While others react with ease, this person smiles half-heartedly, laughs a moment late, or delivers a dry "that's great" with no real enthusiasm. It's not because your story isn't worth reacting to, it's because their emotions are getting in the way. Jealousy creates a block between what they want to feel and what they actually do feel. Delayed reactions can be even more revealing. They may pause before responding to your good news, take longer than usual to reply, or seem like they're searching for the right way to react, rather than just being in the moment. These delays often come from inattention. They know they should be happy for you, but envy clouds their response. So instead of celebrating with you naturally, their reaction arrives late, flat, or out of sync with everyone else. Sometimes, they'll try to hide this by overacting, laughing a little too loud, too long, or too suddenly. But even that feels unnatural, like they're putting on a performance to hide discomfort. It's not about enjoying the moment. It's about blending in and masking what they don't want to admit. This behavior is rarely accidental. It often comes from someone who feels overshadowed by your presence, success, or energy. They may still like you, but your light brings up things in them they haven't resolved. And so, rather than being fully present, they react with a delay, or with emotions that feel disconnected from their words. Over time, this pattern becomes clear. When someone consistently responds with forced laughter or a beat too late, especially when you're sharing good things, it's not just bad timing, it's emotional resistance. Their mouth says, "I'm happy for you," but their timing says, "I wish that were me." And in that pause or fake laugh, jealousy quietly speaks.